Hi friends, so not to be kind of braggish, but I recently did this fabulous black and gray look. And a few people actually asked like how I recreate or to be able to recreate it for you and show you exactly the steps I took. And believe it or not, this look is so simple, but still so gorgeous. And I think it would look good on any color eye, any color skin tone, maybe just change the type of grays depending on like your particular skin tone. Maybe if you're a deeper skin tone, you might need to go a little deeper of a gray or maybe a little less ashy. I'm not really sure. I'd definitely have to play around with the look and see, but I think you're all gonna absolutely love this look and it's beautiful. You definitely could tone it down for a day look and vamp it up for a night look and add a little bit of black. I did my base so that we don't waste time with that. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Charlie. I love doing lifestyle videos, makeup, fashion, plus size content. Today, I'm going to also film a hygiene look, not a hygiene look, a hygiene brain fart, my favorite hygiene products and how it's going to be a little TMI. I'm also going to be filming an empties and a couple other videos for you today. So let's just get right into it. So today I'm going to be going in with an oldie but a goodie. Please don't judge. I know how old this is. So just pick up maybe the newer one or go with any cool tone palette you have. So I did my base. I do have myself baking here. I ended up using the Maybelline 24-hour. And then I am on to a new product for my brows. You guys, I used to be a brow gel and I never understood the whole, what's it called? Like the waxes. And I just couldn't get on board with it because I guess I just never understood, because I'm always someone who filled my brows in first and then went in with a product. But now I'm a reverse girl. I go in with the Eye Method Brow Styling Wax. What I love about this is I notice it leaves literally no residue, but my brows are frozen. They're not going anywhere. And then I go in with a product, which now I use a powder, and believe it or not, I use a ton less. That made no sense, sorry. I use a heck of a lot less. If you want me to ever go into detail about my eyebrows, it's something that I am very, very particular about. Blush and eyebrows, I feel like, make your whole face. So if you are ever interested, I certainly could do a shorter video for that. But if anyone is interested, it's the Eye Method Beauty Brow Styling Wax. I will link it for you. It is fantastic. So here is what the palette looks like. This one is so old, so worn. And I pulled it out the other day, not thinking like I was going to create anything that I loved, but I ended up doing it. So I went in with this cool toned, very, very light, true gray. And then I'm going to end up using these two absolutely like minimal for just deepening it up. And either this white or this flesh tone. It just depends on what you're looking for. And it's super duper simple. And you don't even need that many brushes either. So in all actuality, these are actually one more brush. Hold on, you guys, sorry. These are the type of brushes that I'll use these for, and that's it. You definitely can do whatever it is that makes it easier for you, but I'm going to show you exactly step by step what I ended up doing. Sorry, looks like my foundation isn't matching. I might have went a little too pink. Usually I use 118 beige in this. I know they changed the formula, so I'm gonna have to pick up a new one, or they changed the packaging maybe. And I used 120 also just to, and I didn't realize how it really doesn't match. Good thing I'm not going anywhere and I wear a lot of turtlenecks. So I go into here and I pick up quite a bit because it is very, very light, pigmented, but light. And this blends like a dream. But again, you can go into any cool tone palette that you have. And what I do is I just start here. Ooh, look at all that dust from the thing. Let me turn my light so you really can see. Okay, so I just bring it into the crease like this. You guys, I'm going to figure out a setup to show my makeup looks a little easier, but for now they're pretty casual and just for fun. Let me get better in the frame. But listen, what I've learned to do with hooded eyes is I bring it right here, right above like the orbital bone, but like right under the brow, lightly, so that it almost blends right into that contour of my eye. Do you see that? So I know right now it's not picking up like a ton of color. Let me look in the mirror. No, it's not. But you can definitely start to see it slowly build up in color. And then I'm going to go right here and kind of like hook it on the end and bring it in. Now, if you have a different shape eye, just follow like the contour of your eye or whatever shape you prefer. If you prefer something more like blunt on the end, I know a lot of people love that lifted look. If you prefer more of an oval look, whatever, but don't forget to hit right here. Don't bring it too low, bring it up pretty high, because as you can see, even that difference, you can kind of see it's a more lifted look. Let's start working on the other eye too, because I often like forget about the other eye, and then it gets kind of forgotten about and then I kind of forget my steps. But right here has been my new and improved thing for a more lifted look, very similar to my more natural look. So I'm just going to continue to build up the color. I'm not going to bore you, but that's all I'm doing with this color. Going to keep going back in, blending it, and then I'll be back to show you the next few steps. Okay, so I completely blended, as you can see. Also, I wanted to just pop in here at the very end. I'll kind of update. I know a few people in my not get ready with me, with my what I wore in a week. I talked about maybe fostering a puppy or possibly taking her in full time. We brought her here last night, and I will update you. It's a happy ending, so don't worry. It ended up finding her an amazing home, and I'll explain everything at the end. That way, if you don't want to hear an update, it's at the end and you can skip it. Okay, so after I pop in here one more time, I am telling you, like, boop, okay? And I knock off as much as possible if you're not going for a really heavy look. And then I start doing kind of like the same thing, just a little bit lower, but definitely hitting right here as well. Now, I know you might like think, like, what's the difference? It does make a bit of a difference. And again, hitting here pretty heavy, and then boom, like, I mean, this is pretty pigmented. You can see this is well loved. Believe it or not, I used to use that as an eyebrow color, and I used to put it in my brows. I think I liked it because it was so cool toned, and I had such dark brows. But as you can see, I'm just darkening it up. Now that I have it kind of where I like it, I like this color because it's not technically a black, but you definitely have that illusion of a smoky eye. And what I love about this, it doesn't take a lot of blending, because I know blending can be a major issue for people. So I'm going to go into this white this time with a big fluffy brush so that it's not compact and it goes on a little more wispy. And then I'm just going to hit right under where I was hitting it at the brow bone, and look at that. Because it isn't compact, it kind of gives it a more wispy feel. And I just do it like this to be, but I bring it down pretty far recently to keep all of this bright, because I am going to go so heavy on the waterline with black. Let me just look in the mirror real quick to do this eye a little bit better. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this and just kind of touch up anything that was a little, mostly right here. I just love this lifted look right here. Now, I never before would do that. I would never bring it in that far because I didn't care for the look. Now I'm just going to go in with a more loosely packed brush. It's super, super soft, and I'm just going to kind of blend and work the product in. The last time I did go in with a little bit of black, but I don't think this look even really needs it. You know, you guys, if you feel like you're not getting the hang of things, I feel like practice is the most important. I know that's so cliche. I'm going to go in here, and I'm just going to do a little under the brow bone to kind of help blend the top too a little bit. I know that's so cliche, and it can really piss people off. And right here is the most important to me. So I'm going to go in just with the tip of my brush and really hit it right here. I'm trying to pull out old palettes, you guys, and start really going into my collection and start using things, because I hate feeling like stuff sitting and being wasted. But I have to double check before I show anything that nothing was limited edition, because I know it can be hard for people to find them. But like I was saying, I know people get very upset when you're like, practice, it makes perfect, but that's the truth with like kind of anything. You might not just pick up a brush and be good at it. It took me a long time. So here's kind of what it's looking like. I feel like there's a little patch right here where it's not holding the eyeshadow. That's a little bit better. So everything I did above, I'm going to do right here on the bottom, going back into this, and I'm going to start working it on the bottom. You can definitely skip this if you're someone who doesn't enjoy it. You can bring it up as high as you want or as low as you want. And then I am going to go heavy black on the waterline and the upper waterline. So kind of like this. And then because it's not showing up too much, I'm going to take a small amount of that darker gray, knock it off, and then kind of like squint a little so I can be a little more precise. Okay. And now what I would do, and for sake of saving time, is I would go back and forth. I would add a little more white to where I want it, and then add a little more gray, and add a little more white, add a little more gray. Now for the waterline, I recommend this. It's a drugstore product. It's under $10. You can get it on Amazon, Walmart, Target, CVS, anywhere they where they sell Maybelline. This is a recommendation from Jaclyn Hill from like over 12 years ago, and I've never looked back. It's the Maybelline Lasting Drama Gel Liner. This is the best waterline option. It will not move. It will not budge. Even with watery eyes, I don't know if this is actually waterproof, but is it? Okay, it doesn't say waterproof. I get Blackest Black, Noir Super Intense. I get the Blackest Black. I'm going to save you the issue. I'm going to save you from watching me have to put this in my waterline because it is a sight for sore eyes. And I will put it in and I will be back and then we'll continue with liner. With this look, I'm doing a more lifted liner. I think for now, the eye look is good. If I was going to go out for the evening, I would go in the corner with just a smidge of black. But for today, this is the identical look. And then I'll show you what I did with the blush and what blushes I've been using and loving. So I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, so right now it looks a little weird. I went back to look at the picture and I forgot I did smoke out my bottom lash line. So I am going to take a teeny tiny angle brush and go into... Okay, so I just went back and looked at the picture and I did smoke out my lash line. So what I'm going to do is go in with this teeny tiny angled brush. And I'm going to dip into the black, just depending on how much you want, and knock it off. And then I go as tight to the lash line as possible. I do kind of have to look, so you're kind of going to be able to see. This is going to depend on like what you want as far as like how smoky. I like to bring mine pretty far down, but I also like to make sure there's not a gap between my lash line and my waterline. I kind of like that seamless look, that heavy look. I'll tell you what I base this look off of. You're going to laugh if you're about my age. I used to be like somebody who loved Pretty Little Liars. It was like my favorite show when it first came out. I think I was like 18 or 19. I was so young. And Hannah wore this like heavy black smoky liner underneath to maybe like a prom or homecoming. And ever since then, I just have been obsessed with that look. I'm just going to take this color to really blend that in. And the mascara really helps when I go heavy in with my mascara. But as you can see, this blends beautifully. And that was what I did for that look. I noticed yesterday I didn't wear... I had to run over and help a friend, so I didn't wear eyeliner yesterday, and I realized like how downturned my eyes were, and I looked kind of crazy. I'm not used to seeing myself without eyeliner, so it was like really weird to see. But there you go, like I just smoke it out, and again I add more. I take some, well, you can't take it away, but I blend it out, all that. So what I'm going to do is my regular eyeliner. I use the Physicians Formula. This is really, really good, but I'm going to tell you this. If you want to order this, I noticed that when I bought it from Walmart, it ran out quicker than when Amazon ships it to me. So I don't know if it's like a situation where maybe they're sitting at Walmart a little longer, and because there's so much movement through Amazon, maybe you're getting newer products. I don't want to be for sure. It also could have been just this particular one, but I promise you, you will not be disappointed. This is one of the best liners, and this is what I've learned how to perfect my liner. Now, I still mess up all the time, but this is what saved me. So I'm going to do a more lifted one, but again, for sake of time, I'm not going to waste your time watching it because I definitely want to show you how I get that blushy look with this. Although I know somebody was not happy with it and left me not such a mean comment, but kind of poking fun at me. But the truth is, nothing really bothers me. I'm never going to change the way I do my makeup unless like I decide to change it. I know there's some things people don't like about my makeup, but I feel like that's with anything. And that's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but someone did not like the blushy look I did for my haul, my Walmart haul, but that's okay. So I will be back once it's done. I'm not trying to poke fun or have anyone go look for the comment or anything because everyone is entitled to their opinion. You are allowed to. I just hope that maybe you could do it in a more nice way. Maybe say, hey, but I don't know what anyone could say because I'm never going to be somebody who doesn't wear a lot of blush right now because it's what I love, and that's okay. And you should follow the same thing. If you love it, do it. Life is too short to not have too much blush, in my opinion. So that's enough with that. I will be back very soon. Okay, you guys, now this is the final look for the eyes. It's so beautiful. I am obsessed. So I was just making sure my eyebrows weren't uneven. Now for blush. I have been loving the Too Faced Cloud Crush. I don't know why that was hard, but I got my hands on the one size in Cheek Clapper. You guys, this is the most beautiful blush I've ever used. I know it's like unnecessary to have this many pinks, but like I've just fallen in love with these bubble gum pinks. So I'm going to show you exactly how I've been doing it. This is not going to be for everybody. I know that. So I've been dipping into this. I haven't used the cream one yet. I will be using it soon. But I bring it up very high to start. So I start building it at my temple right under my winged liner. And I just start bringing it down. I don't smile yet. I just kind of bring it underneath my eye and start doing that. And kind of just like filling in the area. And then I take a more fluffy brush and just start bringing it up. So lifted and kind of almost like a contour with it. Look how beautiful, beautiful that blush is. I'm only going to do the one side because there's no reason to show you it on both sides. And then I kind of just bring it up here in like my nose, up by my nose, up under my eye, and I keep it pretty high on the apple. And then what I do is, because this blush has a blurring effect, and I truly believe it does. Now, this blush claims to have a blurring effect, and I really, really, really believe it does. I've never seen a blush just kind of eliminate my pores the way this one does, and I kind of just go over it where I have heavier pores. Now that I'm a little bit older, I notice more pores in my face. And that's kind of what I do with this. Then at the very end, I take this leftover brush, whatever's left over from the white, and I kind of just buff it in. Kind of like I was doing with the pink pink powder. And I kind of just buff the top so it's all kind of seamless. Look how beautiful that looks. And I just keep blending and adding and blending. So I'm going to finish this look and I'm going to put everything together, pull my hair down, and I'll be back for kind of like final looks and then a little update. Okay, my sweet friends, so that is the end of today's video. I ended up putting on this blue sweater, but I feel like I need a turtleneck. I feel like you can definitely see that foundation is way, way, way too pink, maybe? whatever. I love this sweater. I got this from Boohoo about 2 years ago or a year ago, and I literally still to this day love it. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. This is the final look. It's hard recreating unless you do it that day. You know what I mean? Oh, I need to put my wedding ring back on. I always take it off so I don't get makeup on it. It's always hard to recreate a look because it's like from memory, and unless I like already recorded it and I can kind of go back and see. So I tried my best to do a replica of the look. Maybe I did it a little darker or a little smokier, I don't know, but it looks pretty close. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave it down below. I would absolutely love you to stick around and subscribe. And right now I'm just gonna pop in super fast the update on the dog because I know some people are interested. If not, that's fine, and I'll see you in my next video. So for anyone curious about the dog, so my husband and I were talking. So I went over yesterday. They had somebody come that was going to look at the dog and bring their dog, and it was a disaster. They didn't click. The owner, my friend, started crying. I mean, she's my friend. She's my husband's best friend's wife, but I believe we're becoming friends through just she needs a friend. Do you know what I mean? And I know I said I would never do it again, and I would never put myself in a position to help people because I always felt like I get burned. But I am a helper, and I cannot stand somebody being taken advantage of or being hurt. And I can't stand up for myself, but I have slowly turned into my grandmother. She always would say to me, I can fight for my kids and for other people, but never myself. And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. I was like a crazy woman yesterday. I said, no, this is not going to work. I'm sorry. I appreciate you coming. I talked for her. I was like, you can't take the dog. So I was very firm, polite, but I was very proud of myself for knowing the situation wasn't correct. So I have, like most of you know, a 5-year-old Shih Tzu and a 2-year-old Chihuahua. They are like bonded. I don't know what it is. Like maybe it's like a maybe like an Gilly impressed on Butters. I don't know. When we got Gilly, he was 6 weeks, way too young, and he tried to nurse Butters. Like that's how close they are. So we were very scared. Not to mention, like, this might be selfish, you guys. I'm just wiping my desk because I'm like, I hate talking about uncomfortable things. Not uncomfortable, but I don't want to sound selfish, but my daughter's 16. We don't plan on having more kids, and I can always talk about that. I just never want to offend or upset anyone. But I don't ever mind talking about things. I feel like the more we bring awareness to things, the more people feel comfortable opening up and getting the help they need, or reaching out or getting resources. I know this has nothing to do with the dog, so if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm not easily offended. I said to my husband last night, I get offended when people forget to invite me to their kids' birthday parties. That's why I get upset. Not when someone confides in me or asks me my opinion, or asks me, you know, whatever they need to ask me, a question about themselves, my opinion, my experiences. But this time in our life, if I had to leave my dogs for a significant amount of time, so say like a 6-hour day, an 8-hour day, they are okay together. My little Gilly was on Prozac for a little while until all of his testosterone left his body. And since then, he has been incredible. They are so bonded. It's like I've never seen anything quite like it. Kind of like a father-son, kind of like a brothers. And it might just be me, but my point is that my husband and my daughter and I come and go. And right now, I feel like it would be so selfish of us to take a puppy in. But we were going to do it. So what our plan was is we said we will, if it worked out, we would foster her. And even if it took 6 to 8 weeks to find her the proper home, we would all look till we were all comfortable. Even though she wasn't our dog, my friend's wife is struggling, so I figured if we were all comfortable with the same home, then we would all be okay letting her go. And my daughter's like, what if you become attached? I said, I I understand this, but it's for the greater good of the dog. She came last night, and when they were all leashed, it was not good. They were kind of like scared and skittish, and Butters is the alpha dog. He's the dominant one, and what that other dog did that came the first time was not correct. I don't care what the girl is going to say. It was not corrective behavior. There's a difference between correcting a puppy's behavior and trying to attack. I'm sorry. And Butters, and when I notice corrective behavior is they like kind of like nibble at the ear or kind of nibble at the paw. They don't bite at the body. Do you know what I mean? And Butters was just kind of like, he was great with her, believe it or not, and he would correct her behavior. They did not attack each other, but Gilly was very standoffish. So she's the same size right now as them. So we took them to the backyard. They did fantastic. Gilly was running after her. I thought, great, this is going to be fabulous. But then we brought them in the house. She messed herself all over, but I feel like that was nerves. Of course, we cleaned it up. I mopped immediately. My fear was she's female, they're male. They would start marking, even though Gilly's fixed, because she's not fixed. And dogs get horny and they're like, they start humping, you know, and marking. And when she came in, she was rambunctious because she hasn't been able to just run. They did good at first, but then Butters jumped on the dining room table and refused to come down. Even when we picked him up, he actually growled, which he never, ever does. And Gilly was so stressed. And I was like, you know what? This is just, unfortunately, my dogs are going to come first. But we got the best news that she is going to my friend's niece, best friend. She's childless, dogless. Their family dog just passed away, sadly. I'm not happy about that, but I'm grateful because she's young and she's active and childless and dogless. So this dog will be her full-time companion. She will be completely trained. The girl's going to be active with her, and she is an Australian Shepherd, and she needs that. So I'm so thankful, so grateful that it is a happy ending. They know the person taking the dog. They will still be able to see her. And this is just goes to show you, please, please, please make sure you're in a right place to take a puppy. And I'll tell you what, you guys, it confirmed that I just never want another puppy. I love them. And if it came to my life where I took one, fine, or if I was in a position, but right now, I like old dogs. I like dogs. I will never understand somebody who throws away an old dog. They are the best. They are lap dogs. They just want to be snuggled. They sleep all day. They are the best companions when they're at a certain age where, and I said to my husband last night, if we ever do, we're rescuing an old senior dog who just wants love. I am not in the mood for a puppy phase. I love other people's puppies. I am 100% in love with all animals. But I guess old dogs just have something in my soul. When my mom passed away, I took her old dog and I loved her. She was a pit bull and she was the best dog and the last piece of my mother. And we had to put her down because she just had gotten so overweight and so, she wasn't overweight. She had like a thyroid issue. She was so fat and so uncomfortable and so old, and she couldn't walk, and she was urinating on herself, and she was like 12, and it was just that vet recommended it. And that was one of the hardest things because she was like the last little piece of my mother. But oh, I loved her so, so much. And I've just have a connection with older dogs. But that is the update. I'm sorry this was going to be a little extra long, but I hope this maybe just brought you a little peace or happiness. But she found a home, so that is fabulous. I definitely know that I would probably recommend, if you are looking at any of the herding dogs, so for example, blue heelers, the Australian Shepherds, German Shepherds, any dog that is used to being like a working dog, definitely do your research because they need to be worked. They need to be walked and they need to be trained and they need active people. And if you're not active, I don't think that's the right breed for you. If you're someone who likes to just kind of read and sit around like me, get yourself a Shih Tzu or a Chihuahua because they're just that amazing. They'll just sit and snuggle and they're content. But I believe those types of dogs are here to work on the farms, and it isn't cruel. It's actually more cruel for them to be cooped up. Those dogs love to run. She was one of the fastest dogs I've ever seen in my life. Okay, my beautiful friends, so that ends today's video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, you can definitely leave them for me down below. I love you. I love your support. I love your comments. It means more to me than you will ever can imagine. Even the silly comments, even the not so nice comments. I love them all. I just hope you know. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.